Well, it is Friday, and welcome to the Friday 15. I am Steph Lee, the founder of Host Agency Reviews, and this is the Friday 15, where we answer your industry questions every Friday at 12 p.m. Central Time. So let's get our party started, because you know what? Today we have something extra special. We are doing a question, just one question. And then what we're doing is we're going to do a meet the team with the Har team, because we just hired on a new team member. And I'd like to introduce you to some of the people that help on the background of the Friday 15. So let's get started. Our first question is from Ira Ferguson. And Ira, I know you've had a lot of problems with this, so I'm glad you wrote in. So Ira says, hi, Steph. Thank you for this info. What if my travel agency is in Arizona and I only sell travel packages to people who live in Arizona state who wish to visit Hawaii? Am I still required to apply for a seller of travel license? As per your content, you said if you're working with clients who live in Hawaii, even if your agency isn't in Hawaii, you'll need a Hawaii travel agency license or a seller of travel number. I am confused with the requirement, and I hope I could get the right answer. Please help. So Ira, I know one of the big problems Ira had written in also to our support, and the problem that Ira had, because it's not just that they're wondering if they can have the seller of travel license. The problem was that when they reached out to the Hawaii seller of travel license people, they told Ira that they needed to have, even if they didn't have, even if the traveler wasn't from Hawaii and they weren't located in Hawaii, that they still needed a seller of travel license, which, as far as I know, is incorrect. And then I wrote to Mark Pistrong, who we've asked about other things in here, and this is what he wrote back to me, Ira. He said, I've never heard of that either. It seems preposterous. And he said, I think they just might have understood. And he said, even if that wasn't the case, it proves the old lawyer's adage that you should never ask a government agency for an advisory about its jurisdiction, as the government agency will always render an opinion that expands its jurisdiction when it can. So that was kind of fun, because I got to learn a little bit of lawyer speak through Mark. So Ira, I don't think you need to worry about seller of travel. I think there was some kind of a mistake. And I want you to know I did try calling the seller of travel licensing office, and can understand your confusion, because number one, they don't have voicemail, but they don't pick up their phones, and they say, I'm sorry if that's an inconvenience. And that is a big inconvenience for a lot of people when you're not picking up your phones. So it was very frustrating trying to get a hold of them, and I couldn't get a hold of them to ask where maybe this came from. But I think you're fine not getting the seller of travel license. So we will link to, though, if you are wondering about seller of travel details, we have a great article on it. So we'll link to that in the descriptions, and you can click on that and learn to your heart's content. So now I am going to bring in the rest of the Har team. This is very exciting. So let's see. Hello, April.
Hey.
And we got Mary and Nova. And here is our newest team member. So we have Maureen Bourcy as well. Hey, Maureen.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so what we thought would be fun to do, because we like to ask tough questions, is we wanted to get to know everybody a little bit better. So we thought it would be fun, since we all have dogs, and there are 2 cats in the group too, but we're focusing on the dogs here. So we wanted to ask the question, what character best describes kind of your dog's personality, which we've all given a week's worth of thought to, and we really have thought a lot about this, each of us. So we'll get into that in just a second. But before we do, I just want to remind everybody that we do have our survey going on, our annual travel advisor survey. And we need your help to get as much information as we can. We push out tons of data for the travel community at large, free of charge, that helps people with benchmarking. It helps the suppliers get to know the travel agent channels a little bit better and have hard numbers on what type of things they're producing and where they're selling. It helps on the lobbying front. ASTA uses the data they've used it in the past year for when they're looking for funds for travel agencies. So it's incredibly important. And you can go to hostagencyreviews.com/survey to take the survey. It should only take about 5 to 10 minutes. So thank you in advance for that. So let's get started. We'll go ahead. Let's start with Mary, since Mary actually has Nova present. Mary, who does this beautiful dog, Nova, kind of represent in the human world?
She's so glorious, isn't she?
She is.
Well, okay, so I kind of cheated. I have sort of 2 answers to this question. So,
okay.
First character that came to my mind was Dana Scully from the X-Files. And
okay.
2 major reasons why. One, Nova's kind of a redhead. She has like a brownish auburn red hair. 2, actually there's going to be 3 reasons. Nova is very skeptical of people. She wouldn't even let me bring her up the stairs because she thought I was going to make her do something. So even though she's known me for years and years, she's still skeptical and a little bit distrustful. And 3, I think it's just like the demeanor, sort of the like serious, inward, piercing eyes, very individualistic. So she reminded me of Dan Scully. And then I asked my partner, and my partner, Gabby, said that Nova reminds her of Shane McCutcheon from the L Word. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but Shane is kind of like the heartthrob in the L Word. She gets all the ladies, but she has this kind of like tough, soft, butch exterior, but she's really just like tender and soft on the inside and really vulnerable, and just absolutely needs people. So Nova kind of reminds me of those qualities as well, because not only is Nova like beautiful and kind of, she has this like gender fluid, non-binary quality to her, as do most dogs, but she really wants people to love her, but she pushes them away, just like Shane on the L Word. So those are the 2 answers.
I feel like they're opposite ends of the spectrum. You and Gabby are like, yours like, she doesn't need people. She's skeptical. And Gabby's like, she loves people, though. She seems tough on the exterior.
Well, it comes down to the tough exterior, but really wanting connection on the inside. But
okay.
And like sort of the existential. So she doesn't, I think she likes the idea of people more than actually loving people. So she wants to love you.
All right. Now, April, you're a new dog mom. Tell us a little bit about Millie. How old is she? Because she's not even on our site yet. We are working on getting this fixed, but she's not even on the site yet.
I know. And you know what? I actually just downloaded a few pictures and I just can't even pick. So I'm going to just send you a bunch of pictures and you're going to have to pick because I love them all.
I can't wait.
So we got Millie a couple months ago in April, and she is just such a love. And it's funny because my husband, when I met my husband, he had 4 cats. We're down to 2. Yeah, tell me about it. I had a dog. He had 4 cats. And he's like, I'm a cat person. I'm not a dog person. Let me tell you something. He's completely turned into a pile of mush for this dog. She's in a food coma right now, but I'm going to pick her up. Sorry, Millie, you have to make your debut. Say hello. I know, she's such a love. She's just tired. But she literally just flopped right back down. This, I'm not even gonna lie, this was not an easy answer. Like, I asked everybody in the family, like I asked my parents, I was like, I have no clue. She's just this big love bug. But my daughter and I were talking about it this morning because we're very last minute people. And we kind of came up with, if you've ever watched Kids Baking Championship. Now, yes, Millie is a girl, but I'm going to say Duff. Now, when you see Duff, he's this bald fat guy. So she doesn't look like him, but her sense of food, any food, she loves all food. So anything, this would definitely be her. And if you've ever watched Kids Baking Championship, Duff He's just like this really fun loving, like you just want to give him a hug. He just wants to be around people. He's super funny. He has this great personality and he loves food. And that is literally Millie in like a nutshell. Like if you have food, she's next to you. If you just want to hug her, she's next to you. She just loves love. So I'm going to go with Duff from the Kids Baking Championship.
I haven't seen that, but we'll also put up some pictures of who these people are. So you guys, if you're anything like me and can't remember the names of people and are better when you see faces. So, all right, last one is Maureen. Now, Maureen, we just hired 2 weeks ago for our community growth specialist. So welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
And you're also a pandemic puppy new mom. Had yours is a little different experience than April's. So tell us what kind of characteristics or person your new lovable dog kind of represents.
So we have a 1-year-old, it's a lab blue heeler mix. And she is just a ball of energy. So the two characters that I think kind of personify her the best is first one, definitely the Tasmanian devil.
Oh, yeah.
Because she is just a tornado of energy at all time. And no matter where she goes, she leaves a path of destruction everywhere she goes.
That's awesome.
I love that.
The other side of her is Reese Witherspoon's character in Legally Blonde. So she's a very upbeat, friendly dog, but underneath that all, she's extremely smart. And she is also highly food motivated. I mean, you give her a piece of cheese and that dog will do anything.
That's awesome. Those are great. We've been keeping this secret from each other all week on who our dogs are. So it's fun to like actually hear it since we've been talking about it. All right, so we have Orion and Fenney, and Orion has been banished to the downstairs because he was a bad boy. And so we'll start with Orion. So Orion is like Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy. So kind of like he's like really good looking and like attracts the eye, but he also, he came as a rescue. So he also has this longing for his family that he didn't really know, but now we're his family. But he's also kind of a big goofball, lovable, but also like explosions going on behind him and completely unaware of the way his actions affect others, which is Orion in a nutshell. And then we have Fenney, who's just so lovable and so sweet. So Fenney is like Michael Cera. And I think just not even any of his characters, but just I think what his personality is. I'm not sure. This is what I envision his personality as anyhow. Just adorable and lovable and kind of like just wanting to please and a little bit socially awkward, but everyone kind of like is like, oh, he's just so adorable and cute. And so that's who we came up with. I had to ask my partner, Paul, because I'm not very good with characters' names, but that's who we came up with. And I think they're pretty fitting. So
That's awesome.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
we need to hang out.
Yeah, I know. The dogs need to get together, except for Orion does not read signals from other dogs. He's just like, going around and blowing things up and is getting in trouble all the time. So it's not very good at meeting dogs right now. But well, let's see. So that is kind of wrapping up our Friday 15. But normally we actually go over like 2 or 3 questions each time, and we don't talk about dogs if this is your first time. And if you have questions that you want to submit, you can go ahead and go to hostagencyreviews.com/Friday15. And make sure if you like the content of this and want to hear more questions or dog comparisons, I can't guarantee those will happen that often, but go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel or go ahead and subscribe to the podcast feed. So thank you for joining us. Maureen, welcome to Host Agency Reviews. We're so excited to have you. Mary and April, thank you for all your help in the background on the Friday 15. And we will chat with you all later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.